Hello DevOps friends, welcome. I'm Jochen, the Monospace Mentor, and this is my office hour, in which I answer your questions. This whole stream, excuse me, this whole stream will be about answering your questions about DevOps, about system administration, software engineering. If you have any IT career questions, they're perfectly appropriate. All these things are topics that we're going to cover in this office hour. And if you have any questions, feel free to post them to qa.monospacementor.com. Go to qa.monospacementor.com in your browser and post your question on the QA section, so everyone can see the questions that have been posted. It's also possible to upvote questions if you find them particularly appealing or reasonable, and I'll do my best to answer them. And that's all I'm going to do. And since the programming is all in your hands, the only thing that's going to be in my hands is my cup of coffee. And maybe my pen if I need to illustrate something, but mostly my cup of coffee. So this is how the Q&A board looks like. Go to qa.monospacementor.com, post your questions, and I'll see what I can do for you. And questions are already coming in. I wasn't expecting that, but all the better. So here's our first question. Do you recommend refurbished workstations or servers? Yes, I do. And it's actually not that long that I'm of that opinion. Let's start with workstations. Workstations are things that need to have a specific set of resources. No worries, IT choice. So Usually we need specific resources like enough RAM. For example, last night when I switched from my regular live coding stream to a gaming stream and launched Steam, my workstation ran out of memory and everything ground to a halt because the machine started swapping, and yeah, I was able to recover eventually, but it took me a few minutes until I could actually get the machine to stop Firefox and release a lot of RAM. And the next thing I did was order more RAM for my workstation. And I also have a laptop that I bought from Tuxedo because they build brilliant Linux laptops. And I had my eye on a framework laptop for my next mobile workstation because, yeah, they're amazing, they're sustainable, they are easy to repair, all stuff that really is an advantage to framework. And then I bought a used ThinkPad for my son, simply to play around a bit and get basically familiar with computers. And I realized this cheap laptop that cost me only a few $100 is perfectly adequate to do my usual coding work. Maybe not the whole live streaming studio setup here. For that I need a little bit of a beefier machine, but for as a mobile machine when I'm at a conference or on holidays or something like that, I realized a used machine is more than adequate. I need a few CPU cores, I need a HD display to display my terminal and my browser, and that's it. If I need to do more heavy-duty stuff, I can still access a beefier server online where I have the, say, compilation capacity to run through huge code bases or things like that. And that basically killed my plan to get a framework laptop, because what's even more sustainable than buying a repairable laptop is buying a laptop that has already been built and used and is now getting discarded by the previous owner, and can get a second lease on life in my hands. And so I think that buying stuff refurbished does absolutely make sense. My first experience with that actually was my home lab server. I got myself a Dell 5820 workstation. It's 6 years old, I think, and added more RAM and 6 hard drives as a no, 4 hard drives as a little storage system as my main NAS actually. And it works perfectly. I put Proxmox on it, and it has a nice Xeon CPU that has, I think, 12 logical cores or something like that. So it's more than enough to get me through the day if I wanted to do my work on it. If I hadn't this beefy machine here to run my live stream and teaching studio, I could easily work with a VM that's on my home lab server here. So definitely workstations, laptops, I do recommend buying them refurbished, because usually you don't need the cutting edge machines, and machines that are 4 or 5 years old and therefore out of their leasing time frame and now are getting sold cheaply on eBay and other places. You can save a lot of money, you can do a favor to the environment, and it's actually fun knowing that the machine that you're still working perfectly fine with has been around for quite a while. In terms of servers, I could say the same thing, because they are simply a little bit cheaper. And for example, there are many data center providers, for example Hetzner, where my company and I personally run all my servers. They offer refurbished servers as well, stuff that is out of commission and has been used for a while, and you can get your hands on a pretty beefy machine for really low price there. And why wouldn't you want to save money? So I hope that answers your question, and if you have any follow-up questions, post them on qa.monospacementor.com. I like the Asian style of the background music at the moment. I've been listening to a lot of the original soundtrack of The Last Ninja lately. Dating myself here. Here's another question. What's a decent price for co-location these days, and is it still a good idea? I think it's a good idea. The only downside is that you have to take care of things yourself. I mean, you need to know what you're getting yourself into by running your own data center infrastructure, or at least your own servers. But if you're willing to do that, it's definitely a good way to keep perfect control over what's happening on your servers. You can avoid noisy neighbors, and you can do whatever you want with your servers. It's definitely less expensive in terms of capital in the long run. In terms of pricing, I can't give an answer there because that depends on where you are based and what you actually need. So you'll have to do your own market research there. But I think there's a trend actually growing to going back to on-premise infrastructure, because at a certain point, or let's say below a certain point of revenue, it makes much more sense to run stuff yourself, because you still have the capacity and you don't have the scale to consider something like outsourcing operations. Then there is a certain band where using cloud infrastructure makes sense, especially if you need to scale up and scale down quickly in order to save cost, for example. And above a certain level of scale, it might again make more sense to run stuff yourself, because at this point you should have the revenue to pay people to do all the ops side of things. And in that case, running your own servers will be less expensive than paying someone else to run them for you. And So yeah, it can definitely make sense. Where that breaks even and all these things, that will of course depend on the price that you pay. And again, do your own research and also ask people who are already doing that for their experience, and they might be able to give you a few tips. In my case, we are running a bunch of bare metal servers and a lot of cloud instances at Hetzner, and we've been happy for more than 15 years now, and definitely are getting a good price. Let me open the window. Getting tangled in my headphones here. Here we go. Otherwise I'll be running out of oxygen soon. Seems to be a slow day today, but I am not going to go complaining because I actually have the day off today. My company gives us every last Friday of the month off. It's our so-called FFF Friday, our Family, Friends and Fun Friday. And so I'm not complaining about not getting bombarded with stuff, even not getting bombarded with questions, even though you are welcome to post your questions to qa.monospacementor.com. Someone's really into infrastructure here. It's good to see. So the next question is, do you know a good place for inexpensive storage VPS? Again, if you are based in Europe, Hetzner is your best bet. They have servers for all kinds of purposes, from bare metal servers that have a lot of capacity for running high performance services like databases or running VM hosts. They also have GPU servers for, say, machine learning and things like that. And they also have machines with different levels of storage, up to, I think, 3-figure terabytes, where you can have a huge array of disks for storage. And and there are also options to combine stuff on a custom basis. So for example, if you need an array of multiple NVMe drives for high performance storage with a higher capacity, that's possible as well. I definitely would recommend taking a look at their pricing and their server range, and finding if this is actually something that fits your needs. I should get an affiliate link from Hetzner. I need to contact them about that. So far, I'm simply a happy customer. Not sponsored in any way. Thanks for all the questions. Keep them coming. The name is Hetzner. I'll post it to chat for you. If you have a question ready for me, post it to qa.monospacementor.com and I'll be able to answer it before the next ad break kicks in about a minute. Otherwise, I'll simply keep waiting over the ad break. Let me research something in the meantime. This might not even be the first time that this got asked on one of my office hours. Pineapple on pizza, yes, no. Are you my wife? Hey Balthazar, how you doing? Because I actually recently had pineapple on pizza simply because my wife made it. And, well, I needed something for dinner, so I had it, but I definitely voiced my concern that pineapple on pizza is something that should not exist. But there's something in the German DNA that seems to make people combine pineapple and also ham. So pineapple on ham on toast as toast Hawaii, and pineapple on pizza as pizza Hawaii. I'm not sure what's wrong with people there, but it must be in our genes. My favorite pizza is simply pizza Napoli with anchovies, and I really like the combination of cheese and saltiness and things like that. So yeah, my answer is no. Slowly rousing, only have silly things. Balthazar, we are used to that. We are so used to that, and keep it coming. It's highly appreciated. I'm enjoying my day off. Spent the morning with working on the Monospace Mentor website. Speaking of, actually, what I added to the Monospace Mentor website is that it's now possible to also sign up for an annual membership in the server room. And if you're not familiar with the server room, it's my community of practice a membership community with people who enjoy doing all kinds of DevOpsy stuff and most importantly enjoy sharing their experience, helping others grow. And so far you could sign up on a monthly basis. And now I've also added annual memberships that even save you a little bit of money by giving you 2 months free. So instead of €5 monthly, you pay €50 per year for the bronze membership, and the same goes for silver and gold. Instead of 12 times 10, you simply pay €100, and instead of 12 times 25 to get access to all perks, including my online courses that we are doing in cohorts and in person. You pay, instead of €25 per month, you simply pay €250 per year. So all of these plans give you 2 months free, the old 18% discount. Yep, exactly. Makes things easier, especially it makes things a little bit easier for me to plan, because of course longer memberships also make things more sustainable for me, because I'm going to offer all my courses for free, and even the in-person courses that take a lot of effort and time investment from me to hop on calls with you to talk through things are easier to do when people commit to supporting me in the longer term. And so I thought an annual membership would make perfect sense. So that's something of an update. As of today, you can also get yearly memberships in the server room. Check out theserverroom.sh. But enough of this kind of advertisement, even though, yeah, it's definitely necessary to make my work here as an IT instructor more sustainable. Let's go back to answering your questions. qa.monospacementor.com is where you can post them. I can get them on screen for everyone, and I'll do my best to answer them. There's still a little bit of coffee left. Here's another interesting question. Really nice. I have a Raspberry Pi and I would like to run a robot remotely over the internet. Should I run the server directly on the Raspberry Pi or use some reverse proxy service to host it? I think the latter is slower. That depends on the actual architecture. What do you mean in terms of robot? You can post it to chat as well if you like, because yeah, I think we need to narrow down what you mean by robot in this context. But since you are also mentioning a reverse proxy, I guess we're talking about some kind of API or web service. Okay, so a robot with a camera that feeds back to the web browser. So yeah, if you offer a web-based service, a reverse proxy usually improves your performance and improves your resource consumption, is definitely usually an advantage. The overhead that a reverse proxy adds is not really significant. And since the reverse proxy can do additional stuff like authorization, giving access only to specific parts of your web service, it can do caching, and thus taking load off your actual web service, which in this case would be running on a Raspberry Pi. It definitely would make sense to have some kind of a reverse proxy or CDN in front of it. Balthasar basically is of the same opinions as regardless if the robot is controlled by the Pi or the Pi simply runs the web server that sends messages to the robot, I wouldn't put it on the naked internet. That's another argument in favor of a reverse proxy, because the reverse proxy is the actually exposed service that browsers and maybe other clients can contact, and only the reverse proxy knows what backend service it's talking to, and therefore you can practice a little bit security by obscurity by running your Raspberry Pi in a more hidden fashion behind the proxy. As Balthasar says, it can also add authentication middleware and things like that. So yeah, I would definitely be in favor of using a reverse proxy. I know of people who run, for example, whole Mastodon instances on small computers like a Raspberry Pi. The only problem is that new posts trigger all connected instances to pull in media that comes with these posts, say an image that you've attached to a post, and that can easily bog down a small server in terms of the number of requests that are flooding in for the same picture over and over and over again. And by simply putting a reverse proxy in front of that small machine that can then cache this single image and serve it to everyone who wants it, takes tremendous load of something like a Raspberry Pi, and that actually makes it possible to run pretty beefy and resource-intensive tasks on a smaller machine. I don't know who told you that it would slow things down. I don't think a properly set up proxy service will slow down things in any way. The caching aspect alone of a HTTP proxy is definitely worth it, because yeah, it takes load off your web service, and who wouldn't want that? And if you want to learn more about proxy servers, there is actually a course that I do. You can find it on monospacementor.com under courses. Down here, there's the Varnish Administration course, DevOps 1, which is part of the courses that I offer free of charge for members of the server room. So that's definitely one of the things where you can get solid experience, because I am, or my business is running proxy servers at scale for a managed hosting platform. So we are dealing with these proxy services on a daily basis, and that's definitely a good opportunity to improve your web operations skills. And by the way, Balthazar, immediately after yesterday's stream, I ordered 64 gigabytes of RAM. So I can extend my machine to 96 gigabytes. That should do. Oh, PC building fun over the weekend. I will actually build my new Raspberry Pi 5 in order to revive the PyDP 11. Yeah, that's also going to be a lot of fun. So I can get my 1970s mini computer simulation back on and run Unix v7. Oh, you're just waiting for the CPU. Okay, brilliant. I'm pretty sure that living near a micro center would be the end of me. Or at least the end of my bank account. Life's hard enough with services like Amazon that make things readily available, but being able to just hop in the car and nab something at Micro Center, I'd have to take a whole course in self-restraint. Looking forward to your reports on your new machine. What's going to be the purpose of the machine? You said workstation, so it's actually going to be mostly dev and ops stuff, right? Gaming as well? Okay, primarily gaming. Okay. Yeah, then it'll be sufficient for all kinds of workloads, of course. And with the whole AI craze, I mean, you can always pretend that 4090 is for work, actually. Oh, that's a decent machine. Definitely. Nice, nice. Those are pretty decent specs. All right, folks, we are nearing the end of the office hour. So if you still have some questions about DevOpsy stuff, infrastructure as code, software engineering, Ruby programming, maybe, or career questions, other kind of advice that I might be able to give, post them to qa.monospacementor.com. The Neverall joining us. They say, how soon before we will say 1 terabyte of RAM? Yeah, I mean, we already have terabyte-sized RAM in server infrastructure. Balthasar. Jinxing. Pilfers asked a different question, not posted to qa.monospacementor.com, but I don't mind that. What kind of conditioner do you use? I do use the conditioner of my daughter without her knowing, and it's working nicely. It's for long and silky hair. And thanks for the compliment, Pilfers. Making me blush here. But it's Friday afternoon. A little bit of levity is appropriate. Okay, we're nearing the end of the hour. Last calls. DevOps questions not grooming related to qa.monospacementor.com. Interesting question. Thoughts on Nix for deployments? What are my thoughts on Nix for deployments? I haven't used Nix for deployment in production yet. Would I consider using it? It's definitely a great alternative to containers in development. That's where I actually have a little bit of experience because I've been using DevOps for a few of my projects. And having an isolated shell with all the tools and dependencies and stuff that are necessary for a project is definitely neat. And getting it activated automatically when I change into the project directory, things like that. So Nix for development, 100%, it's definitely a great option. For deployment, I think I'm not yet ready to answer that question because I haven't tried it yet. I can't actually see if it would be a huge improvement over how we are doing things at the moment, using either direct deployment using infrastructure as code or container-based stuff. So I'll be looking into that. I'll have to look into it either way because as we saw on this week's live streams on Tuesday and yesterday, I'm getting more into deploying stuff as containers on production hardware. And this week we used Podman and Podman Kubernetes manifests to deploy stuff like that. And I'll have to think about how to automate these deployments because I don't want to go back to editing files on a server and then restarting services like we did in the olden times. Just this time it's not the application files themselves that we're editing, but the deployment manifests. So I need to get to some kind of GitOps based or something like that, some approach like that. And of course, when we are talking about containers, there are also container-ready operating systems like CoreOS, for example. So I'll have to look into these things anyways. And I'll consider Nix as an option there as well. I definitely did read stuff from people who are already doing that, and they seem to be having fun. But that's something that I need to explore myself before I'm able to answer this question. Thanks for the question anyway. I'll definitely make a note of it and follow up on that once I have an update. Pilfer said, I'm using Nix DevOps for my projects lately and really like it. Way more resource friendly, config is that simple. Yep, definitely. And there's tons of orchestration options available. Yep, yeah, I've read of some of these and I just haven't tried them yet. Okie dokie, we went a little bit over time yesterday, and so I'll be finishing on time today. It's 3 o'clock UTC here, and it's time that I get back to my fun Friday, and so I'll be signing off. Thanks everyone for... Oh, wait. We had affirmations requested by Pixel Buttercup, and that's something we need to do, of course. Let me make sure that my setup is still working. I did a lot of rejiggering of my OBS setup here lately, so I don't want to spoil the fun by having stuff break here. Let me see if everything is ready to go here. Yeah, that should actually be working. I think we're good. We'll give it a try. If not, I'll refund your affirmations request, Pixel Buttercup, and we'll then deliver it next time you're on. All right, so let me get stuff prepared here. So yeah, thank you everyone for your questions. We'll switch to affirmations, and after that I'll be off. I'll be back hopefully next week with another live stream on Tuesday at 2 p.m. UTC around that time, and I hope to see you then. So let's do some DevOps affirmations to settle down before the weekend. I knew that something would break, so let me see why the microphone isn't working. Ah, I can see why. Okay. That requires a bit of change here. Let's see. There we go. And Okay, I think that should do it. Does this work? It seems to. Begin by opening your heart to this exercise. Take a deep breath. Inhale. Exhale. You are in your happy place. There will always be coffee. That was a great joke this morning. They just weren't awake enough yet to appreciate it. You were born to deploy Rails applications. The way to success is paved with Docker images. Your team appreciates your design decisions. DevOps is a meaningful term. NeoVim will never leave you. There will be no incidents today. You are happy. You are happy. You are